Hello friends. So we were studying the next topic from the physiology of microbial physiology, and the name of the topic is effect of environmental factors. Up till now we studied the growth, types of growth, measurement of growth, it is the growth, and now we are discussing the second point under the physiology, and that is effect of environmental factors on the growth of microorganism. And we already discussed first and major environmental factor, that is the temperature. Now in this particular lecture, let us see the second environmental factor, second crucial environmental factor, and that is pH. How pH affect the growth of organism and how organism respond differently to different temperature. Now, before going in detail, let us see what is pH. pH is the negative log of H plus ion concentration. It is the concentration of H plus ion in the solution which decides the pH of solution. When the concentration of H plus ion is greater than that of the concentration of OH negative ion in the solution is said to be acidic. If concentration of OH negative ion is more as in compare with the concentration of H plus ion, then it is the alkaline pH. This pH is a factor which affect every living cell. Here factor every living cell require a particular pH where for example in case of bacteria suspended in a solution, that solution should have a proper pH for the viability of the cell. Here acidity and alkalinity of the solution is expressed in terms of H plus, that is the negative log of H plus, which is called as pH. Here, normally microorganisms are adapted to some atmosphere through which they keep internal pH constant. Normally, internal pH of the cell is always constant and it is nearly neutral. It is more than 6 and below 7. That is the pH of cytoplasm always. Here, pH of the internal environment is always neutral. It is kept so because this H plus ion, that is protons, cannot pass through the plasma membrane. Plasma membrane is always impermeable to the protons, and there this internal pH can be maintained by exchanging K plus ions for protons in case of neutrophilic bacteria, and sodium ions are replaced in place of the protons for alkalophilic bacteria. Now here these are the effects, different effects, how actually pH changes in the pH affect the cell. First and very important is plasma membrane or cell membrane. The cell membrane of cell is a vital part. It is a site for protein synthesis as well as its site for energy generation. It is the vital organelle of the cell. Here change in the pH especially disturb the structure of plasma membrane. As you know, cell membrane is made up of proteins. 60% part is made up of protein, and proteins are amphoteric. They carry both positive as well as negative charge, and change in the pH affect that amphoteric nature of the protein and that destroy the protein, and because of that there is disruption of the plasma membrane. Same thing happen in case of the enzyme activity. Every enzyme for its maximum activity require a proper pH. If there is change in the pH, it inhibit the enzyme activity. Next is membrane transport. There are different transport mechanism operated at the cell membrane which are governed by membrane proteins. So change in the pH also affect the membrane transport because there is a main role of the protein in the transport, and change in the pH affect the protein. That's why there is inhibition of membrane transport. Next is ionization of the nutrient, making them unavailable. So change in the pH ionize some of the nutrients and make them unavailable to bacteria. There is change in the electric charge on the cell surface. At the same time, decrease in the ATP production. ATP is the vital energy source of the cell. So there may be decrease in the level of ATP due to the change in the pH. So these are some of the effects of change in the pH or general effects of the change in pH on bacteria. Now these are particular different effects. Here at very low pH, if we decrease the pH of medium beyond certain limit, at very low pH, just a minute. At very low pH, solubility of some ions like aluminium, manganese, copper, molybdenum, these rare earth metal, solubility of these metals was increased, and they get dissolved in cytoplasmic fluid beyond the toxic level and they become toxic. So solubility of some ions like aluminium, manganese, copper, molybdenum increases so that they becomes toxic, their concentration becomes toxic to the bacteria. At very low pH, many toxic organic acids enters in the cell in their protonated form, and so they become toxic to the cell. This is the another effect. At very high pH, if we rise the pH, then essential metal ions like iron, copper, magnesium becomes insoluble. They get precipitate out in their carbonate or phosphate salt form and made unavailable to bacteria. So this is the contrast effect. At low pH, the solubility increases to the toxic level for certain metal ions, and at high pH, certain metal ions precipitate out from the cytoplasm, and that is also create the problem to the cell. Here next effect is here normally, this effect we can control this effect by adding buffers. All of you know buffer is the agent which resist the change in pH. So we can add buffer into the media, or we can use buffering component in the media, and with the help of this we can avoid the change in the pH of the medium. Usually all bacteria, usually majority of the bacteria have tendency to change the pH because during the growth organisms generally produce acid or alkalis, and because of this acid and alkali, pH of the medium changes, and if such changes happens in the pH, then it adversely affect like this. So this change in the pH we can stop that change in the pH by adding buffers in the media, or we can use the buffering component. One of the best example of buffering component in the media is our peptone. Peptone is a buffering agent added into the medium. Here microorganisms can able to grow in the wide range of pH from 1 to 11 organisms. Some organisms can grow at 1 and some can grow up to the 11 pH. Now let us see which are these different physiological groups of organisms having different pH requirement. Now first is neutrophiles. Neutrophiles, name itself indicate neutro means neutral, philes means requiring. Those organisms which are loving neutral pH for their growth are called as neutrophiles. They requires pH 5.5 to 8. These are the major group of bacteria, or our pathogens are the examples from the neutrophilic type. Next one is the acidophiles, organism requiring acidic pH for their growth. They requires about 0.00 pH to 5.5 pH. Up to the 5.5 pH they can able to grow. Most of the fungi and yeast requires acidic environment like 5.6 to 6 pH. The environments where we observe acidic pH in our ecosystem, these are acid bogs from the forest have moderate acidic condition. Such acidic environment favors the growth of acidophilic organisms like Bacteroderma, Planktomyces, or Colobacter. These are some examples of acidophilic organisms. The next is the organisms that tolerate extreme acidic condition, mm, acidic environment are called as extreme acidophiles. The pH below 3, some organisms can tolerate pH below 3 are called as extreme halophiles, and the environments like hot springs, mine effluent, leach pile effluents have extreme acidic environments. Then next is alkalophiles. They require alkaline environment for their growth, that is pH 8.5 to 11.5, and examples are Vibrio cholerae, Bacillus, Alkalophilus, Flavobacterium, Agrobacterium, and Cyanobacteria. The sites like cement factory waste, soda deserts, alkaline springs have generally alkaline environment. So these are the types depending upon their pH requirement. These are neutrophile, acidophile, and alkalophile. Now, so that is about the effect of pH on the growth of organism. So let us summarize here. pH is the negative log of H plus ion concentration. Organism usually maintain neutral pH in their cytoplasm. Normally, pH of the medium can be balanced with the help of buffers. Here, different types of organisms are there depending upon their pH requirement, and these are neutrophils, acidophiles, and alkalophiles. So, this is the second environmental factor which affect the growth of organism. Now, let us study the next environmental factor, and that is effect of osmotic pressure. Now, what is osmosis, how it affect, and what is the application of this osmotic pressure in the preservation of food. Now, osmosis is the net movement. It is the flow of solvent molecules, or suppose solvent is water, flow of water molecules through a semi-permeable membrane, partially means semi-permeable membrane towards the region of higher solute concentration. Suppose we have a membrane, it may be any semi-permeable membrane separated by two solute concentration. On one side there is higher solute concentration, on another side there is lower solute concentration. In that case, water flows from low solute concentration to high solute concentration. That movement of water is called as osmotic pressure, osmosis. That phenomenon is called as osmosis. Here that happens to हे कशासाठी होतं, movement कशासाठी होते, to equalize the solute concentration on the two sides. Why water flows from low to high? That this membrane, this is osmotically fragile membrane, you can say it as a semi permeable membrane. Examples is the fruit balls. आपण जे फळांवरच्या द्राक्षाची जी साल आहेत, झाडांचे सॉरी फळांचे साली असतात, these are the osmotically permeable or fragile membranes, or these are the semi permeable membranes. किंवा आपली बॅक्टेरियाची सेल मेम्ब्रेन, इट इज ऑल्सो सेमी परमेबल. त्या जर तुम्ही लो आणि हाय सोल्यूट कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन सेपरेट केल्या तर वॉटर फ्लोज फ्रॉम लो टू हाय सोल्यूट कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन टू इक्वलाइज द कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन ऑन अराउंड द साइड. दोन्ही बाजूचं कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन इक्वल करण्यासाठी लो कडून हाय कडे water molecule transfer होतात. That is the purpose of osmosis. Purpose is to equalize the solute concentrations on two sides of the membrane. Here the environment in which microorganisms are suspended showing various concentration of solute, it is known as osmotic concentration. Yes, generally we observe bacteria anywhere in the environment. So there are different osmotic concentrations in the environment where bacteria or microorganisms are present. Here cell wall is resistant to withstand the osmotic pressure, while plasma membrane is selective permeable. This partial permeable property or semi-permeable property, which is showing the phenomenon of osmosis, is given by our cell membrane. Cell wall is not in osmotically fragile, it is a rigid and porous, but our cell membrane is osmotically permeable or selective. Now the cell membrane allows the passage of water across to equalize. As I said, this passage of water is for which reason? To equalize the solute concentration. Internal osmotic concentration of cell is usually maintained higher than that of the surrounding. It is achieved by synthesis or uptake of choline, beta and glutamic acid, elevated levels of potassium. They are maintained in the cytoplasm to maintain the high concentration in the cytoplasm. In this situation, plasma membrane is in stretched condition around the protoplasm, but changes is elevated or lowering levels of solutes in the environment can change its condition. Now, which are the different conditions? As here, this last statement, elevated or lowering levels of solute. When we change the solute concentration of the environment, or if we rise the concentration in environment, suppose we have a flask having saline, then if we increase the concentration of salt, in that saline, that is elevated. If we decrease concentration of salt in the saline, it is lower level. So elevated and lower levels of solute in the environment can gives a different condition. Now which are these different condition? These conditions are generally we observe two types of condition, hypotonic environment and hypertonic. ह्यासाठी मी मागे एक उदाहरण सांगितलेलं. सपोज तुमच्याकडे कन्सिडर वी हॅव अ कंटेनर. तुमच्याकडे एखादी वाटी आहे, 2-3 वाट्या तुमच्याकडे आहेत. पहिल्या वाटीमध्ये पाणी असेल, नुसतं पाणी असेल. दुसऱ्या वाटीमध्ये साखरेचा पाक असेल. अशा 2 कंडिशन्स आहेत. पहिल्या वाटीमध्ये साखर कमी आहे, 0 आहे, लो कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन ऑफ शुगर आहे, आणि दुसऱ्या वाटीमध्ये साखरेचा पाक आहे म्हणजे हाय कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन ऑफ शुगर आहे. दोन्हीमध्ये तुम्ही एखादं द्राक्ष जर टाकलं तर पहिल्या केसमध्ये काय होईल, दुसऱ्या दिवशी ते द्राक्ष फुगेल, कारण बाहेरचं लो कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन असणारं पाणी आत द्राक्षामध्ये साखर जास्त असल्यामुळे हाय कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन आत होईल आणि ते फुगेल आणि एका ठराविक लिमिट नंतर फुटेल. दुसऱ्या ठिकाणी काय होईल, साखरेचा पाक असल्यामुळे एन्व्हायरमेंटचं कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन खूप जास्ती आहे आणि आत द्राक्षाच्या आतली साखर कमी राहील, त्यामुळे पाणी द्राक्षातून बाहेर पडेल आणि ते वाळलं जाईल, श्रिंक होईल. So these are the two conditions, low and high. When cell is suspended in the fluid, when cell is suspended in the fluid with low solute concentration, it is called as hypotonic. जी पहिली केस सांगितली, this is hypotonic. Water from the surrounding enters inside the cell and cell swells and bursts. Cell फुगेल आणि फुटून जाईल. This process is called as plasmoptysis. PTYSIS. Plasmoptysis म्हणजे swelling and bursting in the hypotonic environment. On contrast, cell in the hypertonic environment. Hyper means concentration of solute in the higher is higher. That is आपण जो साखरेचा पाक म्हणतो ते hypertonic environment. In this case, water leaves the cell. त्या सेल मधून पाणी बाहेर पडेल and plasma membrane shear आकुंचन पावेल and shear away from the cell. ते वाळून जाईल सेल तुमची. It is called as plasmolysis. So plasmoptysis happens in hypotonic environment. Hypo means low आणि plasmolysis happens in hyper. Hyper means very high hypotonic environment. And now what is this isotonic environment? Here we are all of you know that we are suspending bacteria during practical. Normally bacterial suspension is provided in the saline. Yes, now what is the saline concentration? Saline has 0.85% salt. Why saline is required for making the suspension? Because saline is the example of isotonic environment. Now what is iso? Iso means same. Here environment is, it is the environment where concentration of solute is equal to that of the cytoplasm. But in such condition water is not taken. तुम्ही समजा सेलमध्ये 0.85% सॉल्ट हे असतंच. 0.85% सॉल्ट हे कायमच, सॉरी 0.95% सॉल्ट हे कायम बॅक्टेरियल सायटोप्लाझम मध्ये असतंच. तेवढं सॉल्ट जर तुम्ही एन्व्हायरमेंट मध्ये ठेवलं तर वॉटर मॉलिक्यूल कुठेच कुठे जाणार नाही. तसं होऊन चालत नाही. हिअर देअर शुड बी सम फ्लो ऑफ वॉटर मॉलिक्यूल. देअर शुड बी लो फ्लो ऑफ द वॉटर मॉलिक्यूल इन द सेल. सेलमध्ये थोडं पाणी आत घेणं गरजेचं आहे बिकॉज ऑफ ग्रोथ, बिकॉज ऑफ व्हायबिलिटी. आणि त्यासाठी सलाईन मध्ये 0.85% सॉल्ट मेंटेन केलेलं असतं. सलाईन मधलं सॉल्ट कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन किती? 0.85%. दॅट इज रिक्वायर्ड, दॅट इज स्लाइटली ग्रेटर दॅन द सायटोप्लाझम. सायटोप्लाझम पेक्षा थोडंसं सलाईन कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन, NaClचं कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन सेलमध्ये कमी असल्यामुळे वॉटर थोड्या प्रमाणात सेलमध्ये घेतलं जातं. सो द सोल्यूट कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन ऑफ फिजियोलॉजिकल सलाइन इज 0.85%, is slightly less than the cytoplasmic solute concentration, which, this is important, which helps to maintain the inward flow. पाणी आत घ्यायचंय, inward flow of water in the small and required amount. पाहिजे तेवढंच पाणी आत घेण्यासाठी सलाइन मध्ये सायटोप्लाझम पेक्षा थोडं सोल्यूट कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन कमी केलेलं असतं टू मेंटेन द inward flow of water molecule in the required amount. So that is called as isotonic environment, and one of the best example of isotonic environment is saline, physiological saline, to maintain the viability of cell. So this is the actual schematic representation of different osmotic environments. Here this one is, as I told, this is hypertonic environment. 0.0 solute is there in the solution, and in the cell solute is 0.95%. So it is greater than the environment. या पहिल्या केसमध्ये काय होईल, लो टू द हाय, बाहेरून आत जाईल वॉटर मोलिक्यूल आणि सेल तुमची फुगेल. इथे मी थोडीशी स्वेल झालेली दाखवली आणि एका लिमिट नंतर ती फुटून जाईल. इट इज कॉल्ड एज प्लाझ्मोप्टायसिस. सेकंड मध्ये काय, हायपरटोनिक एन्व्हायरमेंट. You compare these values, 0.95% in the cell, 2.5% solute outside the cell. So solute is high in the environment as compared to the cell. So water flows from cell to environment. Water हे आतून बाहेर पडेल आणि सेल तुमची श्रिंक होईल, वाळून जाईल, आणि that is called as plasmolysis. Environment is hypertonic and this is saline. आयसोटोनिक एन्व्हायरमेंट, सेलमध्ये 0.95% आणि सोल्युशनमध्ये 0.85% सॉल्ट. थोडासा डिफरन्स असल्यामुळे सम अमाउंट ऑफ वॉटर वॉज टेकन टू मेंटेन द structural integrity of the cell. So this is the intact hypercell. So this is the effect of osmotic pressure. High solute concentration, low. Solutes are generally two types of solute. One is your salt, that is NaCl, and another is sugar. Some organisms are able to grow in wide range of the environment. Wide range of environment म्हणण्यापेक्षा they can grow up in high solute concentrations. These bacteria are called as osmotolerant. For example, yeast. All of you know examples of the Saccharomyces cerevisiae is there, Saccharomyces roxy, and all of you know this yeast is usually used for getting the alcohol from molasses. Molasses मध्ये ग्रो केलं जातं. मोलॅसिस म्हणजे मळी, ज्याच्यामध्ये खूप हाय शुगर असते. शुगर हे सोल्यूट आहे. हा हाय सोल्यूट कॉन्सन्ट्रेशनला ईस्ट त्याच्यात ग्रो होतो आणि शुगरचं कन्व्हर्जन अल्कोहोलमध्ये करतो. सो ईस्ट इज द एक्झाम्पल ऑफ ऑस्मोटॉलरंट microorganism. Normally, microorganism can grow at concentration about 0.8 to 1%. Microorganisms tolerate high salt concentration. Those organisms, तुम्ही म्हणाल ओशन किंवा सी, त्याच्यामध्ये सॉल्ट नाही आहे का, तर दॅट इज द हाय सोल्यूट कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन. खूप जास्त सोल्यूट आहे, अगदी 30% पर्यंत जातं सोल्यूट कॉन्सन्ट्रेशन. मग त्यांना काय म्हणणार आहे, तर दोज बॅक्टेरिया विच प्रेझेंट इन सच एन्व्हायरमेंट, सॉल्टी एन्व्हायरमेंट, आर कॉल्ड एज हॅलोफाइल्स. त्यांना हॅलोस मीन्स सॉल्ट, फाइल्स मीन्स रिक्वायरिंग, ऑर्गॅनिझम रिक्वायरिंग high salt. These are depending upon the salt tolerance, they are divided as a non-halophiles. आपण जे रेग्युलर ऑर्गॅनिझम्स वापरतो ते नॉन हॅलोफाइल्स. Some are called as slight halophiles, and others are moderate, and last one is extreme halophiles. Non-halophiles grow best on the media having 1.5% salt, and most of the freshwater bacteria are non-halophiles. Second type is slight halophiles, which grow in the medium having 2.5% salt. These bacteria are generally marine bacteria, and one of the best example is Pseudomonas marina, Ultramonas halophilus. Third type is moderate halophiles, which can tolerate about 12 to 15% salt, and examples is Vibrio causticula and Micrococcus halobius. And last example is extreme halophiles, which grow best at 15 to 30% weight by volume salt concentration, and examples are Halobacterium cutrifilum and Halobacterium salinarium. So that is about the effect of salt. So let us have a quick recap. Here osmotic pressure is the flow of water molecule from low to the high solute concentration, that is for making the equal concentration along the sides of the semi-permeable membrane. Our cell membrane is semi-permeable. Bacteria usually require a isotonic environment for their growth, and that is the for their viability, and that is our physiological saline. Normally microorganisms have 0.95% saline in their 0.95% solute in their cytoplasmic fluid. Here there are different types of organism depending upon the salt tolerance. These are halophiles, non-halophiles, slight halophiles, moderate halophiles, and extreme halophiles. So that complete the effect of osmotic pressure on the growth of organism. And now next point of the topic is effect of heavy metal. There are two factors remaining. One is heavy metal and another is UV light. So we will take these two environmental factors for discussion in our next lecture. So for this point, on this point we will stop here. Thank you.